Go.
Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about justice for the next 5 minutes. Not justice as a concept, as in I shouldn't have to pay my parking ticket sort of justice. Justice the person. She's really nice. I've spent pretty much my whole summer with her, and I want to talk to her in the most enthusiastic way possible. But that's not going to be easy, because there's quite a lot of quite complicated bits about the way she's represented in Leeds. It's not straightforward. She doesn't just have one picture that they repeat. It's quite a few different ways. So there's going to be a lot of abbreviations and a lot of basically unforgivable cuts. Now, the most notable thing about Justice in Leeds is where she isn't. She's not on the courthouse at all. You can't find her anywhere. I've looked religious. But she is in a few other places, which I will reveal later. Now, Morley has her on their town hall, which is also their courthouse. And in fact, pretty much everywhere in the world has her. She's incredibly popular on courthouses. She turns up all the time. It's kind of Justice's thing. Unsurprisingly, I guess you want justice at your courthouse. Here's Hong Kong, beautiful justice, and Brasilia, a wonderful justice. And if you have hours of spare time, which I have had, you can look on that link and you'll find so many justices, it'll keep you very, very busy for a long time. Now the big question is though, why in Leeds is she not on the courthouse, but she is in these other places? And it's because justice isn't just about justice. She's actually got other kind of aspects. Justice is who you want her to be. People use her image and abuse her image in all kinds of ways. She started off with the Greeks. There she is, right on the end, DK, with her friends, peace and good governance. Good governance never really caught on. Now, she's really clinging on at the edge of the Greek pantheon. She wasn't a particular popular Greek god. Here she is with the pretty little flower. I think, gets a lot more press. Nemesis, another one, very popular one. She really gets overlooked, especially in the shadow of her mother, Themis. Now, Themis was about divine order. She was about cosmic balance, about the seasons, about making sure everything in the whole universe is in balance, not just sort of a human idea of what justice is. Now, this gets connected to Greek tragedy, because in Greek tragedy, if you do something wrong, if you transgress in any way, you're going to get punished. There's no way around that. If you try and tip the scales one way, those cosmic scales are going to balance out, and you're going to go quiet and then loud and quiet and then loud. And sooner or later, that justice is going to come to get you. The thing is, justice isn't just an inevitable thing though, it also becomes a positive thing, because you want to be able to humanly balance out these scales before the gods wreak their wrath upon you. The good and the just by Greek philosophers really get intertwined. Being good is being just. It's a very singular concept for the Greeks. It becomes a very human-based concept. Now this sort of lies low for a while until you get humanism, which is represented here by Erasmus. Very difficult to find pictures representing an entire movement in European history. Now, humans don't really like this idea of divine justice, this idea that the whole universe has to be in balance. We prefer a more human-centered justice, a justice that's about humans deciding what's right and what's wrong, not about the seasons or about things that we can't control at all. So Themis goes out and justice comes back. Justice in a big way. She gets everywhere. In fact, she even becomes a virtue. Here she is with one of her friends, Prudence, another less popular one, looking over a bunch of ancient wise men in a Renaissance painting. Now, she becomes so popular as this kind of abstract concept of a virtue that she does end up back in Leeds with merchants and bankers. There she is on Abtec House, which used to be a bank. It's on Park Row, you can look her up. Now, I'm going to focus on this one for the next few moments because really, she's not that much of a justice. If you look very closely at the scales there, they're not your standard scales, they're definitely not the scales in the universe that her mother used to hold. These are merchant scales. They've got a weight on one end and a scale. They're for balancing out the price of things, not so much the justice of things. Now, this concept really has moved quite a long way from Themis, who sorted out divine justice, and from the justice of humans. This is now the justice of bankers, which, as we've already heard tonight, isn't necessarily standard justice. Now, justice really does come to life in so many different ways, and there's so many ways I haven't had time to explain this evening, the different ways that justice is a real living person, sees all kinds of different aspects. So if you want to see her come to life fully, do come along to the Leeds Light Night on October the 5th. Thank you very, very much.